What's going on, guys? We're here back at brand new video, and today we are going to be talking about some F1 2015 the game news. Finally, the press embargo on the F1 2015 game was lifted just at midnight. We got loads and loads of kind of interviews coming through. Sadly, no gameplay just to confirm, but there are some new screenshots. They'll be included in the video along with the old screenshots, and plenty of news to get our teeth into to really discuss. Finally, great to actually get some proper news. Last time out, we got a fair bit as well, and now we've got even more, so that's really great to see. Many different sources. I'll put as many as I can down in the description below, so sure to go and read them. But I'll just basically cap off the main points then, and the first point is that Mana will not be in the F1 2015 game on release date, but they will be in an update after about a month or so. This is because the game will be based off the 2015 Australian Grand Prix grid, so of course Mana weren't able to make that race, meaning that they're not going to be part of the game to start off with. Slightly disappointing, but you can see why they've had to do that. The game releasing on June the 12th. So they really don't have that much time to be able to put them in, but I'm pretty sure they will be in an update, at the end of June or even July. It's something good to look forward to, and it'll keep the game fresh. A month after the game releases, you'll be able to play with Mana. So, not the worst thing in the world. I think it's slightly disappointing, but again, not the worst thing in the world. This is only 16 player grids online again. We've seen this from Project Cars as well and Forza Motorsport 5, so it's really not a kind of a limiting factor of F1 games only. Most games can't really capacitate, for 16 players or more, especially, something as complex as a racing game. And, on Codemasters' shoestring budget, getting over 16 is going to be pretty tough for them. It's a bit of a shame they couldn't just extend to 18 or 20, but that's just the way it is. We've coped before, so I'm sure we'll cope again. One of the biggest features then is that there's going to be this new Pro Season mode, which you may have been hearing a lot about recently, but you're not quite sure what it means. Well, now we've got further clarification, and basically it's a hardcode mode for the very dedicated players and for the very skilled players. That's the crucial thing here. It's not just if you're dedicated like me and play the game a lot, it's if you're actually really good at it and you don't use any assists, because the mode basically disables all assists and you're locked into helmet cam. So I don't think this is the best choice from Codemasters in my opinion. I think there should be a bit of leeway. Maybe you can use a few assists, maybe you can at least change the camera. I thought maybe you could get more points if you turn assists off, or more points if you lock to a head cam. But if you can actually kind of change the features of this Pro Season mode, that would be really good. But that's something at the moment it looks like you can't do, and this is replacing career mode. You have to drive as one of the real racing drivers from the 2015 season. You're not allowed to create your own pro, and basically you're going to have to race with no assists on and locked head cam, which if for some people is going to be impossible. It's going to be unplayable because some people are just so used to using assists, some people are just so used to using T cam that they just find it really hard to adjust. They're probably not going to find it very fun. They're probably just going to have to go online or this championship season mode, which is basically by the sound of it, championship season is just going to be one season of racing, and you'll be able to use whatever assists you want. This is going to be really disappointing. It's basically locking I'd say 80% of the people who buy the game out of career mode. It's a really poor decision from Codemasters in my opinion. Of course, this could all change. We haven't heard any official word from Codemasters, but this is the people that have played the game, various things from Eurogamer to Digital Spy. And another thing that they said was that AI haven't really improved, which is slightly disappointing. They said they could still get massive trains of AI cars behind them. It sounds exactly like the previous games, which would be a great shame if it was true, but you never know. Of course, I don't think they're playing the final build. I wouldn't think so. With it being April now, still 2 months to release, there might be, a couple of updates before the actual, proper game releases, and of course there'll be updates after. But it's, quite disappointing to hear a few of these things, but, kind of all negative. But let's talk about some positive things. Well, obviously it comes out earlier in June, early in the season in June, which in my opinion is a major positive. Although, some people would just like the game, it doesn't matter when it comes out as long as it's really good, but I do like it to come out early in the season. I think, that's going to set the trend now for future F1 games. But, let's talk about a bit more positive news, and the news of this new kind of broadcast style mode, which is basically where Anthony Davidson and David Croft are going to be kind of introducing each session and kind of commentating over it. It's kind of like commentary, but I think it's going to be a bit more briefer. Like at the start, there's going to be proper commentary, like as you're going into the session, make it look really broadcasty. We've seen, you can see the Lotus the F1 2015 Lotus on the grid. You can see Daniel Ricciardo in his kind of in his garage. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that. But then actually when we get out onto the racetrack, I think we'll probably hear a few things. It'd be nice to see kind of so-and-so's retired, so-and-so's in the pits now, so-and-so's won the race, so-and-so's just retired, due to a crash. There's been a collision, there's been a yellow flag down at turn 1 or whatever. We're going to Ted Gravis into the pit lane, but, obviously Ted Gravis isn't on the game, so I think it would just be Davidson and Croft. Slightly strange, of course, Davidson doesn't do commentary. Well, he commentates in some practice sessions, but it's slightly strange to hear him in the race, but, he's a good commentator, I think. Many people like him. And of course, David Croft, not many people like, but I think he'll be okay on the F1 games. They'll kind of tone it down. The F1 games are not biased to British drivers. That's, always good to see. Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, Lewis Hamilton seems to win every championship in my career mode, but yeah, nevertheless. Also, a new album cover. Some really nice cover art. I think it looks really professional, making it look a lot like F1. FIFA 15, with the players' faces on the front, NBA, NHL, all these kind of EA Sports, big sports titles. It kind of feels like, they're really trying to build around a brand, really set the tone for the future, and I'm really, really excited for the game. As I mentioned, dropped June the 12th on next gen and PC. It's going to be running at 1080p on the PS4, but only 900p on the Xbox One, which is slightly disappointing. A bit of a downgrade for the Xbox One users, but it's not going to be heartbreaking. You probably won't be able to tell the difference on a 21-inch screen, like what I use, or I think it's 25 or something on a Samsung kind of room screen. So I'm not that disappointed. I think it will still look amazing. It's meant to be at 60 FPS as well, which pretty much none of the other games have achieved, even like the bigger ones. So I'm hoping the graphics should be really good. The screenshots look absolutely gorgeous. Just the handling model as well sounds really, really good. The car seemed really, really challenging. So in that respect, it seems really good. And online hopefully it's going to be really good with this new handling model, as this career mode. Well, we don't really have a career mode. That's why I'm just really disappointed about this kind of career mode concept. You guys can let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any evidence, please link it to me about this career mode. If there's any kind of proper career mode where you don't have to turn the assist on. Turn the assist off and get locked into head cam. That's kind of a big mistake, I think, from Codemasters. But we'll have to see. Like I mentioned, all this is stuff from kind of different sources, not from Codemasters, but they have been, this is official news. I'll leave as many links as I can down in the description below. Be sure to go and check them out. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, see you guys next time. Goodbye.